Okay, I'm going to teach my friend how to play bass, and I'm going to start from the very beginning. Ground zero. Here we go. So this is a bass guitar, 4 strings. I think the fastest way to learn how to pick up an instrument is first talk about the terminology. That's all I'm going to be talking about in this video. It's the fastest way to kind of understand what I'm talking about in later videos. So let's just start with, these are your strings. Starts at the low string to the high string. Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye. These strings go up and down the neck of the body of the guitar. This is your body, that's your neck, and this is the head. You have 4 tuning pegs. Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye. E, A, G, E. Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye. Eddie, 8, dynamite, goodbye. So that's the standard tuning for an E standard bass. They're the first 4 lower strings of a guitar. When you have, those are notes. They go from A to G, and then they loop back around A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G sharp, which we basically call each half segment half a step or a whole step. So we can also count the notes as well. So if you have an open string, that'll be a 0 on tablature. That's a 0. And we count up the frets this way. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to, I think, 22, or whatever this bass has. So there's that. Tablature starts with looking at the notes this way. So this is your low E all the way to your high G. And the notes will be organized in patterns this way. Let's go down to the electronics a little bit. Down here we have the main components that produce the sound. You have your pickups. You have the saddle of the guitar where the strings pass through. I don't think you can see it, but they come through here. They go over the saddle. This is your bridge. Sorry, this is your bridge. But these are the saddles. They'll go up through this little, I forget what they're called, basically the nut, and it'll go around these tuning pegs. They pass through, wrapped around, and then they pass through a hole, and then they get tightened down by tension. Coming back down here, our pickup is controlled by these 3 knobs. One of them is for volume, another is for the lower end of the frequency range, and then the other is the brighter part, which is the treble, the bass and the treble. And then here is your input jack. And up here we have the strap nuts on both sides. Some basses have them on the back of the guitar. So yeah, so that's the terminology. So far we're getting through the majority of it. Each of these shiny bits right here that pass underneath the fretboard are called frets. You will play behind that fret that you want to play. So this is the 2nd fret of the 2. You want to play behind, because as you can see, we're making contact behind the fret, and that's where the note is being produced when you make it. When you play, you play behind the fret, because if you play in front of it, you're not playing the first note, you're playing the second one, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so forth. Let's see what else I was teaching my friend. Yeah, so that's the general terminology. If I've missed anything, please leave a comment. This is intended to help jumpstart someone learning how to play bass. This is for my friend so that he has something to go off of and he can go back and scroll through. I'll teach you how to tune your guitar so that if the sun or the cold will, expand these metal strings to stretch or to contract, will keep your bass in tune so that when you play songs, you don't sound like you're out of tune. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And we'll get into learning how to read this type of tablature off of Songster. This is my bass tab for the song Solitaire by the Beat Crusaders. It's the bass rhythm for the tribute band I'm in called the Star Crusaders, so we'll talk more about that later.